Hello, today we celebrate the Netherlands is no longer a oppressed state that is occupied by Nazis. So, welcome.
Justin!
Yeah, Justin. Happy Liberation Day. You're watching today's episode of Radio Rothingham, the world's least professional podcast on the entire internet. We got yours truly, the Artrix. We have Xaverius.
Yes.
We have Sekele.
Hello.
And Astra just showed up. She's here for the British insights. Hi.
You know, I kind of envy you, Artrix.
Why?
Not only you got liberated 3 days earlier than we did, but you also didn't have to deal with rations.
No, fortunately we didn't. Which is, you know,
because the Russians were like, you look like you talked to a German in your life. Shoot him.
Right. Yeah. Instead we got Americans, and they were like, well, you're kind of cool, I guess. Also Canadians, a lot of Canadians. As a matter of fact, I think as a matter of fact, each year we sent a big batch of tulips over to Canada because we're so...
Sharia?
Sorry?
You mean Sharia law Canada?
No.
Well, Netherlands is also kind of Sharia law lately, so why not?
No, we
See?
don't. We don't export Sharia law to.
Secondly, the cultural progress of diversification goes hand in hand.
No.
So,
Sharia law.
Though there's some law of conservation of energy or something, because like Canada has Trudeau, and Netherlands has basically two Trudeaus, but they are nowhere as effective.
Exactly, because we actually said, you know, fuck that shit, but we also have a right-wing party that's an already right-wing, so GG, I guess. Also, we still don't have a government yet. They're still like negotiating and whatnot, because the biggest part is like, yeah, we're not going to work with the PVV. And
we don't like this guy.
We don't like Wilders. He's mean. And that means that, okay, fine. So now we're still, you know, trying to form a government because, you know, Mr. Rudders does not want to work with Mr. Wilders. GG.
But does someone want to work with Mr. Rogers?
No one wants to work with Mr. Rogers, even less than Mr. Wilders. I mean, people don't like Mr. Wilders, but Mr. Rogers. Oh my god.
He's way too nice. It's like the opposite of Wilders.
Exactly, he's so nice. You can't trust it. You just can't trust him. It's too good to be true.
Yeah.
It's too good to be true.
You're just too good to be true.
Meanwhile, the party I voted for is still sitting there going like, problem.
We got in.
We got in. We don't care that we don't get to be in the government. We're here.
That was their goal.
That was our entire goal, and now we can just, you know, go there and just have nice little speeches. They're not going to govern. They're aware of that, but you know, now they're actually getting paid by the government.
Yeah, now they go in, sit in the seats, maybe take a nap.
Yeah, and get paid for it.
Do a speech like a real political party.
Well, that is funny. Like recently, they did have a speech in there, and you know, 50% of everyone wasn't even fucking there. So they were actually doing their goddamn jobs, and they were talking about their the so-called party cartel, and you know, the fact that no one was there was kind of proving that point. They were like, yeah, we're being ruled by a party cartel that doesn't give a shit about anyone anyways. And
then the hall was like, what?
Yeah, because the parties being criticized weren't there, kind of proving their point. GG. Politics is fucking amazing. It's also terrifying. Wow. Also, just for good order, I am drawing the Torbjorns.
Torbjorn.
Torbjorn. Ready to work.
Oh, yo.
Tasty Torbjorn.
Well, the beard is made of...
Don't eat the Torbjorn, Astra.
You don't know where it's
Why
been.
not? It's tasty Swiss chocolate.
But this Swedish, not Swiss.
His split is Swede.
I throw Swedish fish on you.
I mean, Mercy is Swiss.
Yeah, she's cheese.
Yeah, so it probably tastes more like cheese. Or chocolate. No.
Chocolate cheese.
Yeah, it tastes like
Do
chocolate
you think
cheese.
there's chocolate that's shaped like Swiss cheese, including the holes?
I'm pretty sure of it.
That sounds believable.
I hope there is. Because it sounds amazing.
Actually, I think I did see something like that, only it wasn't really proper chocolate, but white chocolate. It was actually a white chocolate popsicle, like ice cream, in the shape of Swiss cheese.
Oh, actually...
This is causing me great amounts of stress.
Yeah, I think I actually had one of those. The novelty is that it looks like whole cheese, but it's basically just vanilla ice cream. But it's in the shape of a cheese, so it's kind of novel. It's a novelty.
Hey, I like vanilla ice cream and white chocolate.
I mean,
ice cream is like
dark chocolate is superior to everything, but
the only vanilla ice cream I tolerate is the one that doesn't come in the rigid form. The one that you just what's it called? Damn it! I forgot the English word for this.
Served.
candy bar.
No.
Served.
No, well, the thing when you have the machine and you pull the lever and then it spins from inside the machine.
The soft served ice cream.
Oh yes, that probably.
So yeah.
That one. That's the only vanilla ice cream I tolerate. The prepackaged one are terrible.
I think I know what you mean. Now that you mention it, I don't really know the English word, even though in Dutch we call it soft ice, which is very ironic. Like I don't know what the Anglophones call it, because I'm pretty sure they have a different name for it.
Probably. Astra, what do you call it?
Smoothie? No, not really. That's something
what are you
else.
talking about? Ice cream?
Look
You're
at
not
that.
Astra.
We got a Panboy. Hi.
A not
He
Astra.
just thought you died.
I did.
But I told him to stop dead and he stopped dead.
He did. That's very amazing.
Wait, are you recording already or not?
Yeah, we're already recording. So welcome to
you
today.
didn't miss anything.
No,
you
you-
come in like 5th minute.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes in. So GG.
And you were just arguing about what ice cream is called.
Yes.
Well, a specific kind of ice cream. Maybe you can help us. It's like ice cream, but it kind of looks like shit, except it's made of vanilla, and you kind of shit it in an ice cream cone. So it's
comes
not
from a machine.
So it's not like scooped ice cream, but it's basically if you dispense it, it looks like the machine is taking a shit. But
I'll tell you all right now. In the Great Britannia and Ireland and most English-speaking areas, we call that ice cream.
just ice cream.
Oh my god!
So
Yes.
so if I go to an Anglophone nation and I say I want ice cream with no extra descriptors, I get exactly that.
No, there's a dozen things you could get. They could hand you a lollipop, or they could hand you a bucket of HP, or they could give you a soft serve.
Okay, so that's what you call it, soft serve.
No, we call it ice cream.
Oh.
I kept calling it soft serve this whole time.
Nobody calls it that. That's what it is, but that's not what you call it.
Well, what kind of ice cream do you want? Soft serve.
Well, no, see, what you do is you go into the ice cream shop, and you'd be like, I'll have a flake, or a 99, or a whatever, or an ice cream cone with sprinkles. You would call it an ice cream cone. If you wanted a soft serve, you would ask for an ice cream cone.
I'm pretty sure all of these things.
Take a scoop, and all my hopes and dreams are dashed.
Yeah,
And it's your
if you
fault.
ask for a scoop, they'll give you the scoop.
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
understand.
all of this will make perfect sense when you're actually there and you see all the items lined up, and you know.
Or you see no items lined up, and you're like, okay, this must come from a machine.
Yeah.
And 99 is an ice cream cone, but they've crammed a flake in it.
Why would they do that?
I can't remember why it was called 99, because that's very expensive. I mean, like, you used to get an ice cream cone out of an ice cream van for 20p, and then the 99 would only be slightly bigger, but would have a flake crammed in it.
So,
So
99
Obviously,
refers
99
to
is the price, except now it's in euros.
Remember when the euro was introduced and we thought we'd get something like the dollar store, but it's in euros? Yeah, that never happens.
I remember
Or at
when we
least-
got introduced into EU, and we thought that it might bring prosperity, and then it didn't happen.
Well,
But
then
you guys didn't have an equivalent of a dollar store?
no, because the Dutch guilder was not exactly worth as much that you could justify building an entire store on things that cost 1 guilder.
Basically.
I
I mean,
mean,
we still don't have.
things you could buy for guilder. A stamp. I think could buy a postage stamp for a guilder.
Yeah, you could buy a stamp for a 1 Czech crown.
Well, we
think-
basically have all the pound lands became
Euro.
Euroland, yeah, basically.
Sounds terrible. We just rename it like that.
Or Eurosave. No, Eurosave is McDonald's.
Don't save euro. Why would you do that? That's a terrible idea.
I save euros because I can
I mean,
exchange
the
euros. for goods
British
and services.
government is doing everything to not save euro.
No, especially right now. Well, I suppose they have euros in reserve, but that's, you know,
Yeah.
basic currency trading and whatnot.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, apparently, the EU people told, what is she called? The British politician.
Oh, you mean
woman.
Theresa May?
Yes. There's too many politics women right now. See, it's 2, and I can remember them all.
Oh yeah, we better, you know, fulfill the you know, the desires of the regressive left by actually complaining that there's too many female politicians, even though I actually don't give a shit. But you know, let's
anyway,
let's throw them
apparently
the
they
bone.
told her that she can't be there when there's going to be negotiations about the Brexit. I'm like, no, what?
Okay, what's this day you speak of? Who's telling that she can't be there for negotiations?
I don't know what they are. Like the people from the EU. I mean,
Oh.
EU is built especially so you can pinpoint any concrete day.
Okay, yeah, that's very true
the-
about the EU. But
The
Brit-
commission, I think they call it.
that,
Yes, probably.
it
You
was
know,
it
they
was
are
probably-
kind of trolling her like this,
It was-
and then she just comes and is like, no deal, trolling them back.
But
It
the
was-
thing
it
is,
was-
the thing is, this isn't actually any different from how the EU's always operated, which is why Britain
Yeah.
left.
Exactly.
Because every time the EU was trying to make a decision, and politicians were like, "We would like to have a say in that," and the EU Commission was like, "No."
Are you on the commission? No.
Go there, fuck off.
Yeah, basically. See, today I was talking to a guy, and well, it was concerning our president, which will I get to later.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, if I ever went to vote, I would vote him exactly for the fact that he's drunk and uses swear words all the time, and generally is very belligerent. Because fuck yeah, I want to have a president who's full-time troll. And then he's like, politics is the one thing in life that should have no trolls in it. I'm like, what, mate? Politics is a area that itself trolled everybody by pretending it's serious, even though it's just people trolling each other.
Mhm. It's basically just, you know, people going around just, you know, trying to force their way onto others, and since everyone's doing that, it's kind of like a dig measuring contest. Like, well,
Yes.
my ideas are much better than your ideas.
And
No, and
is bigger than yours.
And as you can see in the Brexit negotiations, basically it is trolling.
At least England don't have the ultimate form of political trolling, filibustering.
Oh yeah, that is a thing that happens in the US, isn't it? Where you can actually win an argument just by
talking so long that no one else gets to talk.
yeah, and then you basically get your way. So if
I don't know, all politicians, they talk so long that everybody stops listening, and then they just vote based on the first 5 words.
No. The thing is, the way it works over there is they can't sign something in till the end of the meeting, and then so if you make the meeting go on to the next day by making the time run out,
I know everybody.
Yeah, you basically just delay everybody, so you can't get so you stop the bill from being passed just by wasting time.
See, this wouldn't happen here because the half of politicians that actually arrive usually sleep, so they are not paying attention anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And over here, they have time limits for this.
Probably here too, but I was never able to watch any of those
debates and not die of boredom.
Whatever.
They should make a law in America that says filibustering is illegal, but you just know when someone tries to do it, they'll be filibustered out of office.
Oh god, yeah.
Then they start foaming at the mouth.
But yeah, the negotiations with the EU is like the EU's like, okay, Britain, so you want to leave, right? Right, ain't it, mate? And then Britain's like, stop with your fake ass accent. We know it's fake. Stop trying to appease us. Oh, okay. Well, you guys are gonna leave, so you have to pay 15 billion pounds.
And then Britain is like, no, we're not going to do that.
But you have to.
We don't.
So what
Bitch, we are leaving. We don't have to give you anything.
Fine, then you have to pay 100 billion pounds.
Are you even listening, you?
No, you have to pay 111 pounds. I did read a pretty bizarre story relating to Ireland England relations the other day. Mm. Apparently, there's a co-op in England that has decided they will no longer sell Irish beef.
Right.
Interesting.
Because Ireland's in the EU.
Why would England be salty over Ireland? Because it's aren't most corporations like super pro EU or something? Because
I don't know, but somehow England or this particular company apparently wants to not trade with, not sell Irish beef anymore because reasons.
That sounds retarded.
Isn't it simply because the English really hated the Irish, or because the Irish really hated the English?
No, it's just weird. England is basically the biggest importer of Irish beef on the planet.
Makes sense.
They're also one of the biggest consumers of Irish. They eat more Irish beef than they eat English beef.
Probably so because there is more Irish cows, I guess.
So it's really a dumb thing to do. I mean, it's not really going to hurt Ireland. I don't see how well it can benefit England for this one shopping market to stop buying our beef. Like that will just mean there'll be more beef for the other supermarkets to buy.
Well,
but that does mean that the price of beef will go down slightly because, well, there's more supply and less demand, because that one store is like, unless of course demand from the other stores goes up, they're like, yeah, we're going to buy more beef now. Then fair enough, that's cool.
Well, so, we're probably already not producing enough beef to meet the demand.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then they'll be fine.
This is all slightly hilarious, like the companies finding that they can't actually employ British natives because they're too expensive.
Classic.
Yeah, these people won't work for this. We've been employing like immigrants from EU countries recently, like all those Polish people from the Eastern Bloc.
Isn't that shit going on forever?
Ever since Poland entered the EU, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Poland did it for free money, basically.
Have free jobs, apparently.
Then again, we also did it for free money.
It was interesting though, because of all the immigrants that did in fact move to England and Ireland, the Polish people actually did their jobs, so they were fine.
Yeah. I mean, no one's really complaining about the Poles. I mean,
No.
some people are, to be fair, but generally speaking...
There's a bunch of Eastern Europeans, though, that, you know, are not as well accepted to the... They didn't quite integrate quite as comfortably, you know.
Probably the damn Romanian gypsies. Well,
Yeah.
gypsies in general. I mean, a few years back, like 2012, I think, there was a situation where Britain decided to start returning our gypsies because they were just leaving en masse in there.
Yeah, they would just, you know, come into Ireland and England and they'd go like, oh, we're unemployed. Let's go to the welfare office.
As usual. I mean, that's what they do here, but, you know, obviously in Britain they get more. Way more. It's like, okay, it's me, Dejo, and my 16 children. I need money.
And then the welfare office says, so you're a single parent with 16 children. That'll be €1,600 a month just for the child's allowance, because it's 150 each kid. And then you get standard welfare for your living. That's 180. Then you're homeless, so you get emergency housing. We'll pay 90% of the rent. So yeah, you'll be making about 30K a year in welfare payments.
GG.
It's very balanced.
And then there's me.
And obviously in 6 months the gypsy's gonna turn up and it's like the house broke.
Give new.
Yeah.
Okay, people, please don't move to Ireland with 16 children and try to get welfare.
What I'm saying is do it. I know you want to.
You know you want to.
Actually don't. I mean you'd be in Ireland. Come on.
Artrix knows better than you.
Yes.
Guys, trust me, this is a third world country. You don't want to be here. It's like the infrastructure's terrible. I've been to Galway.
It can't be worse than Eastern Slovakia. Like, Eastern Slovakia is basically just Ukraine.
Yeah, it's... Well, the way I understand it, it's forest. And sometimes in the forest there's a hole and there's a village in that hole in the forest. And there's a single railroad and that's it.
Yeah.
Sounds very exciting. I mean...
Yeah, it's basically like coming to you did read Dracula, right? Just coming to this nowhere and there's a castle full of vampires.
But you could survive in the wilderness by yourself if there's like nobody else there. Just build a little shack and you'll live off the land.
See, that's the problem. That there might be villages in those holes in the forest, but in the forest there are bandits.
Oh.
That's how they've been living since the First World War.
And
bandits that are living there since the First World War. They probably even think that the war is still going. So
some of them, I bet.
They're like that Japanese dude that was still fighting just because he wasn't told to stand down.
They had to find a Japanese officer to go out to him and say, "Dude, the war's been over for 20 years.
Dude, you can chill. Can you maybe chill?"
Like,
no. I
must fight for the Emperor.
But the Emperor doesn't give a shit anymore. I mean
the Emperor is dead and the new guy doesn't care.
I mean, here, have a VHS tape. What's a VHS? It's this amazing technology that we developed. You know, Japan's actually a pretty cool country now. We have VCRs and cars and shit.
The thing about Japan is that in the 90s, it was a country that was riding the wave of technological progress. And today, they are still there, Still in the 90s.
Basically,
Apparently, Japan is one of those places that still uses pagers and MC cassettes for music.
well, we're talking about Japan here. I mean,
Yeah, well, apparently they are using pagers because teenage girls thought it's cute.
exactly. But that's
Japan.
but that's the entire thing about Japan. If it's cute, then it's gonna be successful. So in other words, if you want to do any sort of business in Japan, just make it cute, and you'll automatically win.
And don't forget to bring a pager.
And always bring a pager.
I mean, Japan. The high-tech country that still uses 19th technology. It's kind of, they are half frozen in there, and it almost creates this kind of cyberpunk.
It kind of does, but yeah, it's a weird country in that regard, because I was always under the impression that they were really far ahead in terms of technology. Like, well,
they are, but at the same
They are
time-
technically, but not in the common day usage.
yeah, because
Plus, there are still people who live like according to traditional lifestyles.
because back when mobile internet was this newfangled thing that no one was really doing except for nerds that bought like this PDA that had like a phone in it, so you could make calls, and you'd have Windows C on it, and it was really
Back in the
hype.
days where nerds were not cool.
And that too, yes, nerds were not cool. And
I've seen an ad, Artrix. It was on YouTube, and it was about. I actually skipped it, so I don't know what exactly it was about. But basically, it was about sex appeal and mojo and stuff, and that's all that nerds have. And the guy who was in the video was clearly not a nerd.
well, that's the thing.
They are appropriating nerd culture.
Exactly.
They kind of are. I mean,
I'm being oppressed.
a lot of these quote unquote hipster douchebags are culturally appropriating geek culture and nerd culture because they think, hey, this is cool, so let's just infiltrate. Oh yeah, by the way, it's ours now. And you have to
Like,
abide by
people
our
like
rules.
it for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm gonna hike.
Yeah, I actually don't really like this fandom. Change it, and then everyone else like, no. But my sensibilities. Fuck you.
We need more normies in nerd culture.
And then you get Marvel. And
Yes.
modern Marvel sucks.
Oh, talking about that, you know what do we need more of, especially in STEM?
Flowers.
No, dead people.
Why do we need more dead people in STEM field?
I don't know.
Oh,
That's the best part about it. But apparently, geez, what was the kid's name? The black guy who got shot. Trayvon Martin. Yeah, he's getting a university award degree, even though he's dead.
so he's getting one post-mortem.
Yes.
He's getting an award for getting shot.
So
More or less.
So you're saying that US is North Korea now, except instead of having a post-mortem head of state, they have a post-mortem graduates.
Yes.
That
Oh.
is pathetic.
It is-
I mean, at least it's nice. Like they recognize that death is a disability you can overcome.
Hmm? Oh, definitely. I intend to, to do all the things when I'm dead. I'm gonna be like Van Gogh. I'm gonna be super famous after I die. But then
Are you
I'm
going
also
to cut off your ear?
sorry.
Are you going to cut off your ear?
I'm not going to completely copy his style. Come on. I'm
He's
not.
gonna cut off his beard.
Yeah, exactly. That's much easier. That probably doesn't, jack up my premiums.
Okay.
The Star
He
Trek-
doesn't even have beard insurance.
Exactly. The Star Trek. Why did you cut off your ear? I want to be just like Van Gogh. Well, that's nice and all, but your premiums don't cover that. So You're either gonna have to pay it out of pocket or we're going to jack up your premiums. Well, I guess I'll jack up my premiums. I'll be paying like 800 quid a month just for the privilege of being able to cut off my ears. And then I wonder why I started doing that in the first place. It was probably not a good idea. Just
No.
maybe.
Just no.
Anyway, I think Xaverius had a topic relating to politics. Or did you already bring it up? I'm not sure.
Hi.
Hi?
Yes.
That's what they say in Japan to confirm something.
That's Moonspeak.
Well, yeah, Japanese is Moonspeak.
What is Moonspeak?
Japanese.
Ah,
I mean, I can't understand Japanese. Can you? I
a
sure
bit.
can. A little bit.
I mean, I know a few phrases.
Yeah, that doesn't make you really versed in Japanese. I mean, I can say Ohio, which either means the state of Ohio or good morning, depending on the context. Topics. Oh yeah,
Anyway.
friend. Oh,
Okay,
Alright.
I finished typing the message. I can now go back to the topics.
So I was trying to bring up, but you kept cutting me off because you're dumb. All of you.
No, we are assholes.
sure.
But did you guys hear of DashCon 2.0?
Oh yeah, I heard about
Oh
that.
my.
You mean the
Spaghetti
Actually, I haven't.
Actually, but
Oh.
oh my spaghetti monster.
There was a recent. I mean, we're late to the party on this. This happened last weekend, and it
That's
would
not
have
that
happened
late.
again this weekend if it hadn't been so spectacularly failed. So
I actually was doing interesting things on the last weekend. I have
Wait.
an excuse.
So wait a minute.
There's
You're
a-
saying that there was a DashCon last weekend, or that they
Look,
announced
listen.
it?
No. There
Okay,
was.
there
listen,
was, there
listen,
was
listen.
shut up, both of you.
Shut up! Shut up!
There was a big event planned by something called J Rule. I think he's some kind of entertainment DJ thing. He's
That sounds
apparently
terrible.
famous and he has money. So he said, "Okay, I'm going to buy this big island, and I'm going to have a festival on it, and I'm going to charge people $600 US to attend this weekend event. It's going to be full
US
of
pounds,
music
you
and."
mean?
Yes, exactly. It'll be full of music and supermodels and sex and orgies and music and sex and orgies and yachts. And people started arriving to the island last Friday, or well, I think it was Thursday or Friday. You know, they were getting there in time for the weekend event, and they discovered on the island there was a giant building site.
Mhm.
And some disaster relief tents. Yeah,
Wow, that sounds good.
That sounds
There-
exciting.
there was no stage, there was no musicians, there was no food, there was no there was no bar, no infrastructure, no running water, no luggage. There was literally nothing. So these people spent 500, 600 euro, or apparently some people were saying on the internet up to $20,000, which I think might be a slight exaggeration.
Mhm.
But they got to the island, there was nothing there, and the crew that were supposed to bring them all their stuff, they just left. So you had this crowd of like 520 something rich kids on an island with nothing.
Okay, that's
Stranded.
that's
Basically stranded.
so yeah. That's either a really good troll or just really incompetent organizers.
Or a mixture of both.
Just kind of funny because I think more people came to it than came to DashCon, and yet it was still a much bigger failure.
But was it organized by Tumblr or?
No, it was organized by J Rule.
Okay, so it wasn't a direct successor to DashCon, but it's a similar failure.
Yeah, apparently the con staff conned everyone, just ran off with the money and pretended nothing ever happened. The advertising budget for this thing was apparently pretty massive, though. Like they hired a bunch of supermodels and made these really high production value videos of pleasure cruises and yachts and swimming, and it was crazy. It was called Fire Festival. Fire spelled with a Y, of course, because that's how you spell it now.
Yes, that's gotta make it nice and hip.
People described the event as the Hunger Games and Lord of the Flies.
Well, to be fair, he said he bought an island, right? Nothing about infrastructure.
It was implied that there would be at least what you would expect for a festival.
People, done. You can eat people.
There was apparently some tents. The tents existed. There was nothing in them except a few shitty mattresses. They were advertised as being luxury glamping tents, but they were disaster relief tents.
Sounds like even the average Artrix con is more luxurious than this quote-unquote convention. I mean...
Well, the campsite we went to at least had electricity.
Exactly, it had electricity, running water, facilities. You could even go to the rec room and have internet. Or if you're lucky, get straight from your tent, but we were slightly out of range of the Wi-Fi antenna, so...
If you guys want just to have some pleasure, just go onto Twitter and search the hashtag Fire Festival and look at everything from last week.
If you want to have some pleasure, go in the exact opposite direction of the island.
So
yeah, it's probably not a fun place to be right now.
Where's the island located, anyways?
It was in the Bahamas. I think the island was called Exumas. Yep, everyone who was there got exhumed. And apparently it wasn't even a private island, that was also advertised, because on the island, a short jog away from where the festival happened, there was a sandals resort.
Nice.
Which I think where the con goers eventually went as refugees.
But did it have a ball pit?
I don't
this
think
is
they
important.
even had a ball pit. But
oh my god, that's a fair, like, at least imagine you have this entire island. On one side there's a resort, but you're not going there, and on the other side there's a bunch of tents and not even a ball pit.
The greatest thing about the ball pit is the New Yorker. Their headline image for this was the picture of the disaster relief tents, and they photoshopped in the ball pit.
It's usually full of piss and vomit.
Just this tiny little ball pit in the middle of the island.
So yeah, I always wondered if it was possible to make a convention even worse than DashCon, and it has been answered. Yes, you can. Spectacular.
All you need to do is up the budget.
All you have to do is, instead of having a low budget and less means and everything, just up the budget and have a huge advertising campaign and have, all the resources at your fingertips, but just deliver a really shitty convention. Just don't deliver, basically. Just be really...
apparently the secret to a terrible failure is getting a lot of money. Look at Anita.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so you apparently...
Speaking of which, burn the witch! Wait.
Yes.
Burn them all.
Yes.
So apparently she ended her series. It's done now. After 5 years, she finally
not doing anything.
She finally managed to do it. It clocks just under 2 hours, even though it was supposed to be 12 episodes or whatever. I think it released
See,
8.
Artrix, that doesn't sound as good. You need to say it clocks just under 120 minutes.
Oh yeah, that sounds way more impressive. I mean,
Exactly.
you know,
It's more than 100.
yes. Just think of all the hundreds of thousands of dollars he got to make it. You know, then it's easier to divide that over all the minutes.
Think
that
of
you
all
get.
the hundreds of minutes she spent doing it.
Hmm? Well, you know, you gotta have those business.
Hundreds, Artrix, hundreds.
You gotta have those. You gotta justify those business expenses like going to hotels and working like 19 hours a week, even though most of them are spent just existing. And yeah, it's easy work. Really
Existing is integral to that kind of job.
Exactly. I mean, just imagine that he didn't exist.
Well, then she would probably get a degree.
You know, imagine that he actually had to deliver, and then people would expect more. You can't have that.
She would have to actually do something. Some stable.
So.
And then you think of all those people who make a lot more content in a shorter time for less money.
And with more substance.
Not for less money. Like they don't even get a Kickstarter. They just get the ad revenue for it.
Even though with the current state of YouTube and whatnot, that's not exactly boding well either. I know that if you're an animator and you rely solely on ad revenue, you're basically fucked. Due to the way the YouTube algorithm basically.
Well, if you are anything on YouTube and rely solely on monetizing your ads, then I have bad news for you.
Well, you used to make a fairly decent living doing that, but yeah, that is.
I don't like, except for the really big channels with millions of people. I don't think so.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The people with the really big
everybody
channels.
Everybody had a shield page of some sort.
I know of a handful of people that were able to live off YouTube ad revenue just fine, and they still do. But yeah, they do clock in at like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, if not millions. So yeah, those people are relatively fine. But
the other people have to get a Patreon.
Yep, and
Which
you see
I think Patreon did demonstrate during Gamergate that they don't give a fuck as long as they get money.
As they should.
Oh yeah, didn't a lot of these anti-Gamergate people try to basically get Patreon to stop giving money to...
They shoot some of them down, and Patreon was like, okay, we're gonna recheck it. Actually, there's nothing offensive, whatever, we don't care. Here, have the money back.
What's this? You're just a normal dude? Oh, sorry. Here, have your money. And we'll take a cut, of course. What does Patreon take anyways? Like 10% or something like that?
No idea.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the plan. I'm gonna go get famous and figure this out.
Okay.
And then after I figure it out, I'm going to stop being famous.
Okay. Well, do it now.
Right now.
No.
Are you famous yet?
I'm doing it right now, actually.
Oh.
Right now.
This podcast is the vehicle to fame.
Okay. Well, there you go. We're the most popular podcast on the entire internet. Everyone knows about Ray Rothingham right now. I'm swarmed by all these messages of adoration and whatnot. People just can't get fucking enough Ray Rothingham. Like, where's the next fucking episode? So yeah, how much do we get for the Patreons?
12 cents.
Oh. And we only have to become the most popular podcast on the entire internet. We get 12 cents for it. I can't help to be.
Really.
I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed. I'm sorry, but I can't expect to be making more if we're the most popular podcast on the entire internet. I think.
And therefore.
Right.
Therefore, you should never expect anything.
Never expect Spanish Inquisition.
Well, I guess we should just revert back to being the least professional. That's probably better. I mean, we may not be the most popular, but at least we can rest assured that we're the least professional.
Yeah, we probably are not going to be able to be the most something, but we can be the least something.
Exactly. Well, by being the least professional podcast on the internet, we are the most unprofessional.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure
Mhm,
some
mhm.
social justice podcast is even less professional than.
I don't know. We're pretty unprofessional.
Artrix is trying to be as unprofessional as he can.
Yes. I'm doing it right now. I mean, the production values of this podcast are so incredibly low.
But
I'd
basically,
be-
it's Artrix buying beer.
Except no, I'm not even drinking this time around. So I'm even
Oh,
failing
God.
doing that. I'm not even drinking right now. I'm sober.
You are failing to uphold your own standard.
Exactly.
Basically non-existent.
I mean, we don't even have standards. That's how unprofessional we are. But we gotta up it. We gotta be even less professional.
Well, I have the standard of turning up to the episode.
Yeah. Why are you doing that? You need to just be randomly absent for no reason.
Okay, we need to record an episode where we are all missing.
Okay, that actually sounds like a hilarious April Fool's joke. Just have an episode
Just
of Radio
fan
Rothingham.
sound for an hour and a half.
Yes.
I'd
This
like
ep-
to say,
and then, yeah, it doesn't have even an intro. It's just an episode of Radio Rothingham that starts out with just silence, and it's
And continues with silence.
forever and ever and ever. So yeah, Anita basically telling the world to go fuck themselves. The series over, and nothing of value is lost. To be honest, I haven't even really. The only reason I even knew that there were new episodes was because places like Kotaku and Action keep talking about it. But to the average person, the whole tropes and video games thing, it didn't exist. No one was really watching it. I mean, the most recent videos were even struggling to break the 100k mark. I mean, I think the initial videos managed to get like a few million.
because of the controversy.
But the most recent videos, well, she'd be glad if she'd be able to
Well,
break.
then
one.
again, her most recent videos were not even trying to drum up anything. She was basically like, this person has a vagina. This person also did things that everybody else was doing at the time, but she had a vagina.
Which is very special.
Yeah.
How about you, Astra? You have a vagina. Do you agree with Anita?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very informative.
Well, it has the information value of most of the stuff that Anita or Xaverius say. And like, is that yes or no? Are you confirming or denying?
Both.
Denying. You know what happened, right? Since it turns out that gender is a spectrum.
Oh, denying. I see what
And
you mean.
apparently even sex is a spectrum. And
Even
and
dumber.
no scientist ever said that it's not a spectrum. No, in fact, no scientist ever said that it's only two genders. And especially no scientist who's named Bill Nye ever said it on TV.
Because it was on Netflix, not TV.
The fact that
Well,
that
Artrix, maybe you are aware that Netflix didn't exist back in the 90s.
Well, back in the 90s, Bill Nye was basically like, yeah, there's only two, fuck off.
Back in the 90s, Bill Nye was an actual science guy.
Yeah, back in the 90s, you watch the show and they were just explaining science. Like, okay, this is a thing that happens. And we can demonstrate
and
it.
you were like, this is interesting information about the world.
And
back in the 90s, he was in a very famous TV show.
yes, Bill's
In
not the
America,
science
at least.
guy. I mean, I haven't really seen it in Europe, but
Exactly.
I watched some episodes on the YouTubes, and it.
And lately he's like, I seem to be a subject of these memes. What if I try to get my own show? And what do kids think that is hip today? Ah, I see. No genders.
Yeah, that show that he's doing right now is going to age like milk.
It's going to bury him alive. Poor Bill. See, there's a problem with these older people who are trying to be relevant. I don't think most of them have any idea what's going on. They're just like, okay, this seems to be popular. Let's go bandwagon on it. Apparently everyone agrees. And then it turns out that nobody really agrees.
No, it's just a really small group of people that agrees.
Who happen to control all the media?
Well, that's the thing about the media.
Similar thing happened to Dawkins, except not that the GW-ish. Basically, somebody had the idea to make a space game about alien life and evolution. I mean, it's kind of ironic that they will get a Dawkins to be in a game that's about actually enforcing evolution. Because that's kind of intelligent design. And yeah, it's basically Spore, but if Spore was made in the 3D MS Paint by a shitty person.
Right.
Nice.
I'm kind of like... I pity the fool. Because Dawkins has no idea what he's doing, I guess.
Well, yeah, he has gone on record to say a bunch of fairly ridiculous shit. Actually, I don't
really,
exactly.
Really retarded.
Do you remember what he said? Because I honestly don't.
But he did.
Well, I do remember that he said a bunch of stuff where it was like, what? Are you sure you wanna go out and say that, Mr. Dawkins?
What?
Well, apparently nobody knows anything.
So,
do you know anything, Panboy?
No, but I remember something like this was happening with the actress from Star Trek.
There's many actresses in Star Trek.
Janeway.
Oh.
What about her?
They got her to do the voice lines for like a what was it? Like a Christian game.
Oh.
Give me Christian side hug.
It was like some science denying nonsense, and she just did the voice work for it.
Okay, so that's like.
And I bet there were no interracial kisses either in that game.
So okay,
probably not.
So that's the so on one end we have Bill Nye basically trying to shill the idea that there are more than just two genders and it's on spectrum, blah blah, and then.
Aww. Be easy on him. He's just trying to be cool.
And then there's Christfax that try to that basically hire popular people to try and promote their nonsense. Everything. Yes.
Speaking of Christians, but this is a very, very old news, like at least several weeks old. Turns out that Christians in America, at least called the 1 million mothers, of constantly bitching and complaining about the gay agenda or the liberal agenda on children's television. Did to make their own cartoons.
That can only end in tears.
Yeah,
and I think you've shown some screenshots from it, and from what I've seen, it looks terrifying. Or at very least, it looks incredibly bland.
Basically, I'm just trying to find more detailed info, but basically it's this car. So thus far they produced this Ryan Defrate Secret Agent, about a secret agent.
His name Ryan.
It's as bland and expensive as you would expect. The art is generic. I'll post it in the chat. And the animation is so stiff that it makes Shiza look like 90s Disney.
Okay, that's quite incredible. If you can make something that looks worse than Shiza, then
But I have to give it to them that at least from what I saw of those episodes, I have not seen the whole episodes because you have to actually pay them money to see.
Ugh.
You can, by the way, find it online.
Oh yeah,
At least
but
at least it doesn't seem like they are shoehorning Christian, like Christian lore into it. Like it's really just this cheesy cartoon about a secret agent that just happens to be absolutely completely wholesome.
well, yeah, that sounds similar to VeggieTales, where they don't. Well, they do explicitly insert Christian shit in there, right?
VeggieTales?
VeggieTales.
Is it
It's a-
tales
it-
about vegetables?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
that could be Dragon Ball Z for all I care.
Okay, now I suddenly picture VeggieTales, but it's all Dragon Ball Z. So
Yeah.
got the cucumber and the tomato, and they're like, "This isn't evil, my final form." Also, let me tell you about the Bible. but I know everything about the Bible more than you do. Did you read off the
basically.
Bible?
They don't have Dragon Balls. They have Jesus balls.
Yes.
Are those balls that belong to Jesus Christ?
My Bible is thicker than your Bible.
Shouldn't all Bibles be kind of the same? Doesn't
In theory, but you would be surprised.
I'm more of a pure...
There's so many interpretations and translations and renditions, and obviously then somebody left out a bit because it was better for, the people, the sheep that he was shepherding, or added a few things here and there because it was also better. Yeah.
That one part where I was
And
like...
of course, then you have those crazy Gnostics that then became Cathars in the Middle Ages, who were like, actually God is the evil incarnate. He's the one that imprisoned us in these bodies and prevented us from ascending to the higher plane. And Jesus was sent by God even higher than this one to save us. Yeah, pretty crazy pretty crazy people. I like them.
So it's basically...
Does in a straight way make sense.
So it's basically like Jesus is like, "Oh man, I was so wasted when I posted that status update. God damn it, they're already sharing it." Also said "God damn it," which basically means I'm damning myself, but whatever. I just woke up.
According to Gnosticism, actually no.
Wait,
Because
what?
God of the Old Testament, according to Gnostics, is basically Satan.
Right.
Because apparently, according to Gnostics, there's some higher creative force, like the super god, let's say. Okay. And the gods that created us and the world and everything, what they call demiurge, yes, is basically something like the leader of building shift of angels.
But wait a minute, doesn't
and after he created the world, he's like, "This is mine now."
But wait a minute, doesn't
okay.
Wait a minute, doesn't Gnostic just mean that you know that there's a god?
That it's a philosophic, well, religious, I don't say movement, but a strand that existed
Because
actually as early as 200 years after Jesus' death, apparently.
Because from what I gather, you can be a Gnostic theist, which means you know that there is a god.
Yeah, obviously, but Gnosticism is like a
also
a
religion.
of,
okay.
Yeah. Like you have the Orthodox ones. You have in theory, you could say it's a sect.
Okay. So in other words,
the mainstream Christianity didn't like them, and they kind of had they usually burn them at the stake and stuff like that.
That sounds peachy.
Yeah, like, no, God is the God, and the God is also the God. God is a God is a God. Now burn.
Well, yeah, the whole Trinity thing. Like,
yes.
Okay, Jesus is God, and God's also God, and it's also the Holy Spirit or whatever.
Well, to be fair to the Gnostics, it was a plausible explanation of why the Old Testament God is such an asshole. Because in fact he hates people because people have souls and he can't create souls. So he's like, I'm keeping you here by giving you bodies.
That's why I said that it made sense.
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying that God doesn't create souls?
Nope. The souls like from the super god.
Ah, okay.
And the super god sent Jesus.
Well, I always found it really funny in religion that you got the concept of, yeah, God created you. You are God's creation. And I'm like, then why do I not believe that God exists? If he created my very soul, why am I just not convinced that he exists? Oh yeah, but he's testing your faith. But why would he do that if, you know, if he literally created me, and he's omniscient, and he knows everything that's going to happen in the future and what happened in the past, and he knows everything.
See, that's more evidence for Gnosticism, and that's why the mainstream church didn't like them. Because they're like, maybe we are not convinced about a God existing because he hates us, and he can't actually do anything to us except what we allow him to do. See, they were kind of based on Greek philosophy, which was not entirely. Greek philosophy was like, just have your opinion, man. Also, if you don't like it, we might cut you, but just just make a city and have the opinion in the city. Okay, bye. But the mainstream Catholic Church was mostly like, okay, you are going to do this, or we are going to burn you.
Such nice people.
They were.
Yes.
I mean,
called Christian love.
What?
Give me that Christian side hug as we burn you on the stake.
Oh, for a minute I was afraid my internet was being shit again. Because Sekele was like...
But then you realize, oh wait, it's just temporary. False alarm.
Well, I did disconnect during this evening, Artrix, so, ever since it started raining lately, the internet is shit. I don't know what's happening.
Wait, are you like on some Wi-Fi or whatever? Like
no. I'm on fucking landline from the 90s.
Oh, okay. Well,
Now you are voting.
So basically, this week, half of the evenings, it dropped out for like 2 minutes or less. But the drop was actually that it dropped and everything disconnected.
Well, it seems to be working fairly well so far.
It works now, yeah.
Well,
that's the thing I always liked about this internet. It's stable, but it's not stable. Like it is now 30%. Once a day, it drops. Then again, it might be the other.
In other words, it's stable, but only when you don't want it to.
It's stable to 99.9%.
Yes.
It's just the 1%, the 2 minutes or half a minute a day that it decides to not be on internet. And it's not even every day, so I'm like, okay, that's basically probably some cables flooded or something on the way.
Well, I suppose that will bring that brings a little bit of excitement to your life, where it's like.
Yes, I'm very excited about this.
Yes.
I have internet that doesn't work. I'm like the normal people, except with shitty speeds.
You're like, is my internet going to work today? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know.
It's more like the internet's working. Oh, it's not working. What's going on? Oh, it's working again.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I still need to pretend my internet's down and call up the fuckers of my ISP so I can get a new modem just in case my current one stops working. Because you see what happened is a mate of mine was like, hey, I worked at your ISP. And I was like, sweet. It's like, yeah, here, have the spare modem in case your current one breaks. And lo and behold, my current modem broke. So I just swapped it for his, and now he's like, oh yeah, well, it's cool, it's working. So now you have to call up now you have to hook up your broken modem and call up your ISP and pretend you're still having trouble, and they will send you a new one. Because if you tell them, oh yeah, I got this modem from a friend, they will just error the script and not understand that, oh wait, so you're using a working modem to basically get on the internet, but ours is broken. You know, they don't understand that. They can't comprehend.
You do understand that you just have to. You do understand that your modem is broken, that they have to replace it anyway.
Yes, but I need to hook it up, then call the fuckers, and then I can see, yes, your modem indeed does not work. We'll send you a new one. And then, you know, after the call, I just referred back to normal, and I can just keep on interneting while they send me a new modem.
Indeed.
Yes, it's all very convoluted, but eventually I'll be rich, I guess.
You should just do it while you go to work, you know, one day.
Yes.
Yeah, that workplace you go to.
Yes.
I mean, your sitting room.
Yes, exactly. Like, oh my god, my internet's not working. I need to send these important files. Well, we'll send you a new modem. It'll arrive in 6 years. Oh, great. Well, thanks anyways. And then, you know, then I'll swap it back.
Astra, your mic's open, and you're not even contributing to the conversation.
Nope.
Well, okay, well, let's force her to talk about something, even if it's just really
Oh,
briefly.
geez, please don't. I'm playing Overwatch.
We can tell.
Okay,
Oh, you
well,
can hear it, can you? You
No,
can
not
hear it.
really. I can hear it clicking and whatnot, but yeah.
We just assume because that's what you do like 80% of your time.
Okay, so Xaverius, do your thing.
I want to talk about politics.
Yeah, we can do that with Astra time.
It's the Astra time with Astra.
Even though I have no fucking clue what you could contribute, but at least we have this segment back to the episode.
Yes, I mean we need to have Astra time
Exactly.
with Astra.
So what kind of politics thing did you want to discuss?
Well, apparently we have a government
Hmm?
that was running for years now, and it was quite stable. So obviously this is not the natural state of Czech government. You can't have that.
Hmm?
So
Does sound
what we
terrifying.
yeah, so we kind of have a minister of finance who happens to be a billionaire. You know, these people always happen to be billionaires for some reason.
Mhm.
And he decided it'll be a good idea to run the state like a company, which most of the politicians didn't agree with. Then it turned out that he was kind of doing shady business with all those companies he had. And he was like, no, I'm absolutely not trading with these companies and these hospitals. I just happen to buy them and own them.
Mhm.
Then it turns out that his tax returns his tax stuff doesn't quite check out. So he was investigated, and he just, you know, kept rolling with this. And he managed to pass a law that enforces everybody who's selling something, like in shops, restaurants, stuff like that, to record every fucking transaction as it happens.
Oh yeah, the
And-
thing where even when you buy like a pint of beer, you get receipt or.
Yep, you have to get an extra receipt on top of the normal receipt. And people are kind of pissed, like the normal people, because now we have extra paper to throw out, and obviously the business people too, because now they couldn't cheat. I mean, that was the reason for that law. But the special register that prints out these things and communicates with the ministry's servers cost money, and the smaller businesses couldn't actually afford that much money at the same time, and I mean at once. Oh, whatever. The politicians were not happy either, but since he passed it, it existed. And then he was like, well, I got a letter from this old lady who's selling fruit from her garage, and she'll be ruined by this, so let's add an exception or two. And they were like, no, it already passed, you fucker. They're not allowing you anything. Because they really, really don't like him. Well, and it just happens that all this stuff that was mounting around his person, our prime minister didn't like it very much. And he was trying to get him out of the chair of the Minister of Finance, and he just couldn't do it properly. So he was like, okay, I'm just going to go to the president, and I'm going to put down a resignation of the entire fucking government.
So
Because obviously, if he's going to resign the entire government, the Minister of Finance is going to go with the government, right?
yeah. So in other words, he basically blew up the entire running cabinet just to get rid of this.
Just to get one guy. Yes. He blew up the entire government just to get one guy. Well, but it gets much better because the president likes the Minister of Finance.
Mhm.
So, there's also the thing that the prime minister decided to not put into resignation because he found out that the president likes the Minister of Finance. So he was only like, okay, no resignation then. I'm just going to inform you about all the stuff that's happening, Mr. President. And then he sent it to the Prague Castle, aka the office of the president. And that happened on Wednesday. And he sent it on Thursday morning, which was the day he was supposed to meet. And the president was like, I didn't know this. You know, you sent it at 7 in the morning where I'm still sleeping. Why are you working this
You are
soon?
roboting.
Okay, well, that's nice. I'm so happy that I'm roboting. I'm still roboting.
No, not really.
No,
I think it's
no.
just on Sekele's end.
Yeah, basically the president was unhappy that the prime minister sent him this memo so early in the morning. And he was wondering why the hell is he working so early in the morning. It's great. And so the prime minister was like, okay, I'm going to turn up and I'm going to just explain you why I want the guy gone. And why am I trying to fall this government just to get him? And the president was like, I didn't hear you. And then he prepared the ceremony for the resignation, but only of the prime minister. The prime minister came in and was like, no, I am not going to give a resignation just myself. That defeats the whole purpose of the thing I was going to do.
So in other words, the prime minister was trying to blow up the entire cabinet, but he...
just to get one guy, but the president liked the guy, so he decided to troll the prime minister by pretending he didn't hear the fact that he's not resignating, and prepare the resignation, but only for the minister, not for the government.
So in other words, the prime minister ended up being kicked out, but everyone else
He
gets to
didn't,
stay.
because he was like, he came in, saw that the president actually means it. Like, okay, I'm not going to get trolled like this. And I was like, no, I'm not giving out resignation, and tried to explain himself. And then they started arguing with the president, and then the president just walked off. So the best thing ever.
Well, that totally sounds like something I would expect from the Czech government.
It's something that I would expect from our president. I mean, he's drunk most of the time.
Mhm.
He even when he's not drunk, he can't really walk because apparently he doesn't feel his feet. So as his doctor said, he's walking on biological prosthesis. So now he has a cane. And basically he's just being there to troll everything. And it's awesome.
So your president's basically just your head of state, and that's his entire stick. He's just there to be the president.
Basically.
Sounds
I mean, most of our stuff is happening through Parliament. It's just sent to the president to either veto or confirm, and that's it. And yeah, so you have all this stuff. You have the Minister of Finance, who happens to be a billionaire and has some shady things about taxes. Which, by the way, the investigation was cancelled because apparently the accusations are expired. It just happens, you know.
Accusations expire now.
Yeah, well, I don't. There's some time for a crime where we have to solve it, or it's going to expire.
Statute of limitations.
Yes,
but
that thing. Well, basically, it expired for him, so the investigation has been cancelled all of a sudden. And even better, there surfaced a tape with this Minister of Finance talking to one of the journalists from news he owns and telling him what he should report on now and what he should say for the next year and stuff like it. Even though he repeatedly denied he would use the newspapers for political goals. He's like, no, I just own it and get money from it, that's all. There was this tape, and you know what was his reaction? He decided to, or threatened to sue because he was recorded without his permission.
Of course. That's usually
Never mind the fact that he was caught on a tape trying to manipulate the news. Isn't it wonderful? Like, everything that's happening lately is just the best. See, this is what happens when our government happens to be stable for 2 or 3 years. It's not the usual. We don't trust the opposition. We are folding. No, it's the fucking meltdown of absolutely everybody involved.
So yeah, your government's been stable for way too fucking long, and now you're finding out that things don't exactly go very well when things are just going too smoothly for too long. That finance minister just got too fucking comfy. He's like, oh yeah, I'm riding this gravy train. It's smooth sailing for me. Look at me, I got the media in my pocket. I'm having all this money and no one's none the wiser. And then suddenly, so everyone's onto me now. But the president likes me, I guess.
Yeah, president thinks he's competent, so he's like, I don't care who hates whom. I just want for the state to work.
Yeah,
and that's basically what I'm paraphrasing him, but it's the spirit of what he said.
He basically just wants to sit there in his palace, just being the president, and have a government that just gets shit done, I guess.
Exactly.
It's similar to our king. He just wants to sit there in his palace and
and now the prime minister's coming to him and like, I am resigning because I don't like this guy. He's shady and I can't get him out legally. So I'm just folding the government.
And he's like, for fuck's sake.
Not this guy again.
Everything was going so well.
Oh, by the way, it just happens that the party that the prime minister is member of, their preferences went down by like 20%.
I wonder why.
As you do.
As you do, indeed.
It's almost as if people don't trust them.
There's like meme layer to this. Because the finance guy, nobody really expected him his party to win the elections before, because everybody's just making fun of him. It just so happened that everybody else was so hated that he won.
So kind of like Trump.
Kind of like Trump, yeah. I mean, they are both businessmen. They both want to run the state like a company. I see some similarities. Oh, and both of their taxes are shady.
It's a well-known fact that nobody in government in any country on the planet is legitimate, honest, or decent.
I mean, that's still... My mom always said, they are all communists.
Oh god, that's mean.
Well, some of them, like... Oh my god, actually. Another thing about this Minister of Finance. Apparently, or it is said so, apparently the Communist Secret Service had a dossier on him, and he was supposed to be their informant. That's another layer to it.
So he was a communist during the communist years, or is this like a current communist thing?
No, he's a shit. I don't know what his side, what his party even, what side his party even is on of the spectrum. Wait, I need to Google that. My god. Okay, it's not even a party. It's a political movement.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Well, it's a liberal, centrist, populistic, pro-Europe party, I guess.
Well, it makes sense. It's pro-Europe.
So it's center to center right, apparently, according to this Wikipedia article. I don't know.
Makes sense.
And the current prime minister is social democrat.
Everyone claims to be centrist, but they're actually trying to get into government.
So the Social Democrat, that's more to the left.
Except for Le Pen. Le Pen said she was a Nazi.
Well, her dad was a fucking Nazi, even though he was French.
Wait, did she literally say that she's a Nazi?
Nazi.
No,
Nazi.
but yo,
Oh, that's what.
Well,
what people...
Artrix,
That's-
she said she likes France. That's basically being a Nazi.
Well, that's very true. Speaking of Le Pen, that shit's going on in France right now. Aren't they supposed to have elections next
7th.
weekend?
I think it's this
even
weekend.
earlier.
I think it's
On the
current.
7th. On the 7th.
Wow, so that shit's very soon.
Yes.
And
Well,
So France,
I do hope she wins by Kek's will, because apparently Macron, the other new Sarkozy candidate, he said that Poland is not very nice for not accepting any immigrants at all, and he wants to sanction Poland.
of course, I mean he's completely pro-Europe.
Yeah, well, Poland is the country that's just publicly saying that they went in for the money. So if he's going to take their money away, Poland might go away too. Well, they probably won't, because there's at least some money, but still, it's really this incentivizing Poland to be in EU.
I
so
mean,
France is basically deciding between fascism and Sharia law.
I'm not even sure if
Not really.
what
Fascism is like very strong nationalism. France first and for fucking most. Fuck off, the rest of you.
yeah,
But
but
I mean,
you know,
that
everyone's a Nazi now.
in theory, that should be like every state's approach to being a state. We first, then we are going. After we get our shit sorted out, we are going to talk about our neighbors. But apparently, no, that's not modern. Oh, another thing about France that I love very much. You know how there's the bridge that people in love put locks on and then throw the keys into the river?
what about it?
You know it exists, right?
That's become a pretty popular thing to do on
Yeah,
many
that's
bridges
not.
now.
Yeah, it's not even just France. It's,
Well,
it's all over the place.
Well, there's one specific French bridge in French Paris that happens to have this
that
tradition.
probably.
A few years ago, it happened that there were so many locks that the bridge actually started to bend.
Nice.
Yeah, so they spent the last few years taking the locks off and, well, taking parts of the grating with the locks off and replacing the grating with plexiglass. And now they are auctioning those locks off.
What?
Yeah, they are auctioning the locks off for, like, you can buy individual locks, you can buy clusters of locks, you can actually buy pieces of grating of the locks for hundreds, thousands of euros.
Why would
or-
you
or
want
the-
some couple's
or-
promise
I-
lock?
Was it tens of thousands of euros? Well, a cluster of locks is like 200 euros. That's what I know. And that's not the best part. The best part is where the money is going to. You know
Where's
where the money
going?
is going to?
No.
The
where's-
Yeah.
money is going to 3 organizations that care for immigrants.
Oh, fucking
Of course.
course.
It's like the best. Okay, so you have this bridge that's going to collapse if you don't take all these fucking locks off. So you have to replace all the railings with plexiglass and shit. And then you are going to sell the locks. Maybe, I don't know, to recover the costs that went into the... No, you are not. You are not going to invest it into the fucking city. You are going to invest it in people from Africa.
You are going to invest it in destroying the city.
Yes, that too. Like, France is reaching Sweden levels of cackery.
It
Nuke
is
them.
terrifying.
Nuke them out of existence. Now.
Well, unless
Well,
Le Pen wins, then.
Well, yes, exactly. Wait until the 7th, then nuke or not nuke.
Because if Macron wins, it's just gonna be back to the status quo. If Le Pen wins, things are gonna get very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that
Macron-
Le Pen has a very good chance of winning, considering... Well, basically, the
I've
media...
heard-
Look. The thing is that the media is telling us, No, you know, it's Le Pen can't win. She's not going to win. You know,
There's
Macron.
99.99% of Macron.
Yes, there's a 99.9999999.
I've never heard anything like that before.
Nope, I've
I was
never
looking
heard
at the-
something like that before.
I was looking at the results of the
someone
first
next
round
to
of the
Mark.
elections, and apparently, you know, the parties that were like the first three had all like 20%. The Macrons had 23%, Le Pen's had 21, the one under that would had 20, and the one under that had 19. So now that there's only two parties left, you know, it's gonna get interesting because that's like 60% of votes that have to redistribute.
Yes,
It's 50-50, you know. You know, only two people can win, so it's obviously 50-50.
Yes.
And here's someone saying that basically the other parties that did not advance had similar policies to Macron, and as a result, their voters will simply vote for Macron, which is why he's going to win.
But they didn't vote for them, so why would they vote for her?
This is as their candidates.
Yeah, they didn't vote for them. If they voted for them, they would have been in a better position, but they didn't.
That's true.
so it almost seems like the French system is kind of like the often proposed system of preferential voting, where you initially vote for the candidate you like to, you know, see being victorious, but you know, then there's a second round where you can
And
get...
your guy didn't advance. So like, okay, either I'm going to fuck off or I'm going to vote for somebody like for the second best option.
Yes.
Yeah. Anytime I went to a preferential vote, I voted for one person and left the rest of the ballot blank. Because fuck voting for people I don't want to win.
Yeah.
If I wanted them to win, I'd vote for them.
Yeah, but the thing
once
about...
when I was still in school, they decided that it's a good idea to round us up and take us to like not really voting, but well, but you said preferential voting, but it has no weight. It's just like basically statistics. How many people would vote this guy or that guy? Obviously, I only voted for the guy who was tattooed. Like, we had a guy who was trying to become a president who's blue. That's how much tattoo he has on him.
Sounds sexy.
Yeah, obviously
Very
I voted
sexy.
for him just based on this. He also has like 2 degrees, but never mind that, he's blue.
And that's the most important aspect of this particular person that is blue.
Yes. I mean, how cool would it be to have a president who has so many tattoos that is entirely blue? Huh?
Okay, now I just picture Widowmaker as the president. As a matter of fact, she's the French president. It's like, okay, so you guys, the French are going to vote, right? Well, you know, all this time we had Le Pen and Macron, but here's a third challenger, and then it's just Widowmaker sniping everyone. It
And
ends
she's gonna snipe everyone, then she's gonna win by default.
exactly, because she'd be the only one left. Let the meat cake or whatever. Anyway,
I vote for macaroni.
not for Macron, but macaroni.
You can vote for macaroni. That's culture appropriating other cultures.
And cheese.
Yes, cheese is also culture appropriating.
Well,
other cultures.
if you turn the cheese into brie, then it's allowed. Then it would be like it's still cultural appropriation, but at least it's a little bit French in there.
Yes. Well, you can't culturally appropriate, but you gotta be diverse. Which basically translates to let them overrun your country.
Well,
And kill you.
I'm not entirely sure I agree with that though. I kinda like my country not being overrun.
Me too.
Me free.
It's why I'm glad, you know, England's leaving the EU. So that's actually putting another step in the way,
Yes.
making it even harder for them to get.
See, and this is why I hope that Le Pen is gonna get voted, and
Yep.
she's like, maybe this EU thing isn't a good idea. I mean, it's not working out for most people. And then I just love to watch the European Commission to shit themselves.
Well, they already are. Just look at the.
Yes, but they are still trying to pretend they are not shitting themselves.
They are trying really hard, but they are really shitting themselves because if Le Pen wins, they know that it's gonna be really hard to sell the European people on this European dream.
It's kind of hard to sell the European people in European Union right now as it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not. There doesn't really seem to be much of a advantage
Incentive.
to it.
It's like, okay, either you are a rich country, you'll get overrun by immigrants, or you are a poor country, you get overrun by immigrants, and you are going to stay poor forever.
And then get killed.
And then they kill. But it's more like the thing that, you know, European Union, when we were entering it, we were like expecting that maybe things are going to get better and shit. And then we actually might rise up to the level of all the other big countries that are European Union right now.
Yeah, we might actually become like the United States of Europe or something like that. But
well, that's silly. We just like to be on the level of France or Germany or something like that. Well, no, it just happened that it was easier for all those other big countries to colonize us, basically.
Yeah.
Build all those factories. I'm looking at you, Germany. And basically, like, put out so many regulations that it stifled any industry that we had. And then the economic crisis came, and we quite did not recover ever from that. I mean, every time somebody tried to recover, there was like EU wagging their finger and saying that their cucumbers were not curved enough or too much, because that's stuff that happens.
Or you're actually making more food than France, so therefore you're not allowed to make food anymore.
That's true. Also, you can't call jam made of not lemons or oranges marmalade.
It's true. Marmalade is only citrus.
it's sure.
Now, yes, but now it's enforced. Thank God we have a super state that's enforcing what marmalade should be.
The EU is great. It's fantastic.
It's great. Also, now Britain's leaving, and then EU is like, shit, 30% of our finances are leaving. But no.
Yeah, what now?
Yeah, I was like, keep the finances plus, and May is like, no deal.
Anyway, we are at the 1 hour 30-minute mark. We should probably
I disagree.
Yes.
Yes. You disagree that we are at the 1 hour 30-minute mark.
Yep, it's probably like 1 hour 31 now.
Exactly. Time keeps moving.
Yes, exactly. So thank you for watching this retarded episode of Radio Rothingham, which is like any other episode.
Yes.
There is one more thing we wanted to say at the start.
Oh no.
Which is?
Just some shameless, stupid advertising. So for those two people out there who are from America, and who like Rick and Morty, going to be the Rickmobile, hashtag Rickmobile, is traveling through the USA.
So
the Rickmobile is the truck or van or whatever you want to call it, in the shape of Rick Sanchez, that is going to travel throughout the USA during the summer of 2017 and sell exclusive Rick and Morty merchandise.
Which you can then resell for like quadruple its value.
Exactly.
So yeah, we are shamelessly advertising this, so Adult Swim, where's my money? I want 6 billion
And I do wonder if someone tries to rob it.
They probably won't though.
Well, if they are going to sell the Szechuan sauce, everything's possible. Even robbery.
In the shape of Rick Sanchez.
Are they gonna sell that McDonald's sauce from 1998?
Yeah, I mean, that was the idea I had. Why wait for McDonald's to reintroduce it?
Yeah, just
Make it yourself.
start selling it yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be from McDonald's, but you know,
Obviously,
they're creative. They can come up with something. Anyway, so yeah, there's a link in the video description. Click it, and you can see the truck in its full glorious detail. Anyways, like, subscribe, do all that good jazz. I'm coloring Becky Prim right now because
don't forget
I'm
to like, rate, and subscribe.
Yeah, do all that shit. And see you next week for another
joke is
retarded
rape.
episode of Radio Rothingham.
Good night.
Yeah.
Or one.
That.
And don't die. Bye.
I'm free.
Oh my god.